Welcome to Artificial Fictions. We post new scary stories every day written by artificial intelligence. I hope you enjoy them.
In a small secluded cottage nestled deep within the forest lived a reclusive artist named Emily. She spent her days alone, lost in the world of her paintings, each stroke of her brush a reflection of her innermost thoughts and desires. But as Emily delved deeper into her art, she began to notice something strange. Her paintings were coming to life, but with horrifying consequences. It started with a simple sketch, a portrait of a beautiful woman with eyes that seemed to follow Emily wherever she went. But as she worked on the painting, she realized with growing horror that the woman was no longer confined to the canvas. She appeared in Emily's dreams, her presence growing more sinister with each passing night. As Emily continued to paint, the lines between reality and fantasy began to blur. Strange things would happen whenever she finished a painting. Objects would move on their own, eerie whispers echoed through the cottage, and a feeling of unease settled over her like a heavy fog. Desperate for answers, Emily sought out the help of a local historian, hoping to uncover the truth behind the mysterious happenings in her cottage. But as they delved deeper into the darkness that lurked within Emily's paintings, they realized with growing horror that her art was a gateway to a realm of nightmares, a place where the lines between reality and fantasy were blurred, and where the consequences of her actions could be deadly. With each stroke of her brush, Emily unleashed a new horror upon the world, her paintings coming to life with a malevolent force that threatened to consume everything in its path. In a desperate bid for redemption, Emily vowed to destroy her paintings and seal the gateway to the realm of nightmares once and for all. But as she faced the darkness that lurked within her art, she knew that some nightmares are too powerful to be defeated, and that the echoes of her terror would forever haunt the canvas of her nightmares, a chilling testament to the enduring grip of the supernatural. The Thompson family, consisting of Mark, Sarah, and their two children, Emily and Alex, were overjoyed when they moved into their new house on Willow Street. It was a beautiful old home with a rich history, but little did they know it held a dark secret. As they settled into their new surroundings, strange things began to happen. Objects would move on their own, eerie whispers echoed through the halls at night, and a feeling of being watched settled over them like a heavy fog. Despite their growing unease, the Thompsons brushed off the strange occurrences as mere coincidences. But as the days turned into weeks, the hauntings grew more intense, and it became clear that something sinister was at play. One night, Sarah discovered an old journal hidden in the attic, a journal that revealed the tragic history of the house. It belonged to the former owner, Mr. Wilson, who had lost his wife and children in a tragic accident years ago. As Sarah read through the journal, she learned of Mr. Wilson's descent into madness after the loss of his family. He became consumed by grief and anger, blaming the townsfolk for his misfortune. Driven by revenge, Mr. Wilson took his own life in the very house that now belonged to the Thompson family, cursing it with his vengeful spirit. Terrified by the revelation, the Thompsons realized that they were not alone in the house. The vengeful spirit of Mr. Wilson haunted the halls, seeking retribution against those who dared to occupy his home. With each passing day, the hauntings grew more violent, until it seemed as though the very walls themselves were alive with rage. Desperate for escape, the Thompsons sought out the help of a local paranormal investigator, hoping to rid their home of the vengeful spirit once and for all. But as they delved deeper into the darkness that lurked within the house, they realized with growing horror that some curses are too powerful to be broken, and that the echoes of the past would forever haunt the halls of their new home. In the end, the Thompsons were forced to abandon the house, leaving behind the echoes of their shattered dreams and the vengeful spirit that had consumed it. In the heart of the dense forest stood an abandoned asylum, a relic of a bygone era, its crumbling walls and broken windows a testament to the darkness that once lurked within. One moonlit night, a group of friends, Anna, Ben, Chloe, and David, ventured into the forest for a camping trip, seeking adventure and thrills in the wilderness. Little did they know, their journey would lead them to the abandoned asylum and into the clutches of unspeakable horror. As they stumbled upon the dilapidated building, a sense of unease settled over the group. The asylum loomed before them like a silent sentinel, its broken windows gaping like hollow eyes, and its crumbling walls whispering secrets of the past. Despite their apprehension, the friends decided to explore the asylum, eager to uncover its mysteries and perhaps find a thrill or two in the process. But as they delved deeper into the darkness of the asylum, they realized with growing horror that they were not alone. Strange noises echoed through the halls, the sound of footsteps in the distance, the faint whisper of voices in the darkness, and the occasional creaking of floorboards beneath unseen weight. With each passing moment, the sense of dread grew stronger, until it seemed as though the very air itself was alive with fear and anticipation. Desperate for escape, the friends attempted to flee the asylum, but to no avail. The doors were locked tight and the windows barred shut, trapping them within the darkness that lurked within. As they searched for a way out, they stumbled upon a series of old patient records, detailing the horrors that had occurred within the asylum's walls, a history tainted by cruelty, madness, and unspeakable acts of violence. With time running out and the darkness closing in around them, the friends realized that they were not just facing the horrors of the asylum's past, but something far more sinister, a malevolent force that hungered for their souls and would stop at nothing to claim them for its own. In a desperate bid for survival, they banded together, facing the darkness head-on as they struggled to find a way to escape the asylum's clutches. But as they fought against the shadows that lurked within the darkness, they knew that some nightmares are too powerful to be defeated, and that the echoes of their terror would forever haunt the halls of the abandoned asylum, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of our reality. In the vast expanse of the Alaskan wilderness, a small plane soared through the skies, its engines roaring against the biting cold. On board was James, a seasoned pilot, and a group of passengers on their way to a remote outpost. But as they flew over the snow-capped mountains, disaster struck. A sudden storm engulfed the plane, sending it plummeting towards the unforgiving earth below. As the wreckage lay scattered across the frozen landscape, James emerged as the lone survivor of the crash. Bruised and battered, he knew that his only chance of survival lay in navigating the treacherous wilderness that stretched out before him. But as he ventured deeper into the heart of the wilderness, he realized with growing horror that he was not alone. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, their eyes gleaming with hunger as they watched his every move. Driven by fear and desperation, James struggled to find his way through the dense forest, his footsteps echoing through the silence like a heartbeat in the darkness. But as night fell and the temperature plummeted, he knew that he would have to find shelter soon or risk freezing to death in the unforgiving cold. With each passing moment, the creatures grew bolder, their howls echoing through the night as they closed in around him. James knew that he was running out of time, but he refused to give up hope. Armed with nothing but his wits and determination, he pressed on, determined to find a way to escape the wilderness and return to civilization. But as he grappled with the unknown creatures that lurked within the darkness, he came to a chilling realization. Some nightmares are insurmountable, their echoes destined to reverberate through the wilderness for eternity. Still, amid the icy grip of fear, James clung to a glimmer of hope, a flicker of light promising salvation amidst the encroaching shadows. In the quiet town of Crestview, an urban legend had long haunted the streets, a tale of a cursed idol that had once brought terror and despair to those who dared to possess it. But as the years passed, the legend faded into obscurity, until one fateful night, a group of teenagers stumbled upon the forgotten idol, unwittingly unleashing a malevolent force upon their town. It all began when Sarah, Alex, Emma, and Jack ventured into the abandoned house on Oak Street, a place rumored to be haunted by the spirits of those who had fallen victim to the cursed idol. As they explored the dusty rooms and cobweb-covered halls, they stumbled upon the idol hidden away in a forgotten corner, its ancient features twisted into a sinister grin. Despite the warnings of the townsfolk, the teenagers decided to take the idol with them, believing it to be nothing more than a harmless trinket. But as they brought it back to their homes, strange things began to happen. Objects would move on their own, eerie whispers echoed through the halls at night, and a feeling of unease settled over the town like a heavy fog. As the curse spread like wildfire through Crestview, panic gripped the hearts of the residents. They realized with growing horror that they were facing a force beyond their understanding, a malevolent entity that hungered for their souls. Desperate for escape, the teenagers sought out the help of a local historian, hoping to uncover the truth behind the cursed idol and find a way to stop it before it was too late. As they plunged further into the sinister depths of the idol's past, their dread intensified. They came to understand that certain curses wield an unyielding power beyond the grasp of mortal intervention. The reverberations of their terror would linger indefinitely, casting an eternal shadow over the streets of Crestview, a stark warning of the perilous unknown lurking on the fringes of our perception. In the quaint town of Willowbrook, life was peaceful and serene. That is, until a mysterious illness swept through the streets, leaving chaos and devastation in its wake. At first, it seemed like nothing more than a common cold, fever, coughing, and fatigue. But as the days passed, the symptoms grew more severe, and the residents of Willowbrook began to change. It started with the feverish delirium, the infected residents becoming increasingly agitated and irrational. But soon, the illness took a darker turn, twisting their minds and bodies into something monstrous. Their eyes glowed with an unnatural hunger, and their once gentle demeanor turned violent and erratic. Willowbrook had become a town of monsters, its streets teeming with mindless, ravenous creatures driven by a primal urge to feed. As the infection spread like wildfire through the town, panic gripped the hearts of the uninfected residents. They barricaded themselves inside their homes, desperate to escape the clutches of the ravenous horde that lurked outside. But as the days turned into weeks, their supplies dwindled and their hope began to fade. The infected were everywhere, their blood-curdling screams echoing through the night as they hunted for their next meal. Among the survivors was Emily, a young woman determined to find a way to escape the nightmare that had engulfed her town. With each passing day, she searched for clues, hoping to uncover the truth behind the mysterious illness and find a way to stop it before it was too late. But as she delved deeper into the darkness that had consumed Willowbrook, she realized with growing horror that the infection was not just a mere illness. It was something far more sinister, a malevolent force that hungered for the souls of the living. With time running out and the town on the brink of collapse, Emily knew that she had to find a way to stop the infection before it spread beyond the borders of Willowbrook. Armed with courage and determination, she ventured into the heart of the infected town, facing the horrors that lurked within the shadows as she struggled to find a cure for the plague of madness that had consumed her home. But as she fought against the ravenous horde that surrounded her, she realized with growing horror that some nightmares are too powerful to be defeated, and that the echoes of their terror would forever haunt the streets of Willowbrook, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of our reality. In the quiet town of Oakwood, excitement filled the air as news spread of the arrival of a sinister carnival, a spectacle unlike anything the town had ever seen before. With promises of thrills and delights beyond imagination, the carnival promised to be the highlight of the summer. But as the residents of Oakwood soon discovered, the carnival's attractions came at a deadly price. As the sun set on the opening night of the carnival, the townsfolk gathered eagerly at the gates, eager to experience the wonders that lay beyond. The air was alive with the sound of laughter and music, and the scent of cotton candy and popcorn filled the night air. But as they ventured deeper into the carnival, they realized with growing unease that something was amiss. The attractions were unlike anything they had ever seen before, strange and otherworldly, with an air of danger that sent shivers down their spines. One by one, the residents of Oakwood were drawn into the carnival's twisted games, each one more perilous than the last. The funhouse promised to twist their minds and distort their perceptions, while the Ferris wheel offered a bird's-eye view of the town below, but at a deadly height. But as the night wore on, the carnival's true nature began to reveal itself, a malevolent force that hungered for the souls of the living and would stop at nothing to claim them for its own. Desperate for escape, a small group of townsfolk banded together, determined to uncover the truth behind the carnival's sinister facade and put an end to its reign of terror once and for all. Armed with courage and determination, they ventured deeper into the darkness that lurked within the carnival's twisted attractions, facing horrors beyond their wildest nightmares as they struggled to find a way to break free from its clutches. But as they fought against the encroaching darkness that threatened to engulf them, they realized with growing horror that some nightmares are too potent to conquer, and that the lingering echoes of their terror would forever cast a shadow over the streets of Oakwood, a chilling testament to the ominous perils lurking beyond the veil of our world. Deep within the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a group of researchers embarked on a journey into the unknown, seeking to uncover the secrets of a lost civilization that had long been forgotten by time. Led by Dr. Rachel Carter, the team consisted of archaeologists, historians, and anthropologists, each driven by a thirst for knowledge and a desire to uncover the mysteries of the rainforest. But little did they know, their journey would lead them to awaken a sleeping horror that threatened to consume them all. As the researchers delved deeper into the heart of the rainforest, they stumbled upon the ruins of an ancient city, a testament to the glory of a civilization that had long since vanished from the annals of history. But as they explored the ruins, they uncovered something far more sinister, a darkness that lurked within the depths of the rainforest, waiting patiently to be awakened from its slumber. With each passing moment, the presence grew stronger, its icy grip tightening around the hearts of the researchers as they struggled to escape its clutches. Strange symbols appeared on the walls, and eerie whispers filled the air, sending shivers down their spines. Desperate for escape, they raced through the dense undergrowth, pursued by an unseen force that seemed to lurk around every corner. But as they fled deeper into the jungle, they realized with growing horror that the ancient horror was not content to remain confined within the ruins. It hungered for their souls, and it would stop at nothing to claim them for its own. With time running out and the darkness closing in around them, the researchers knew that they had to find a way to stop the ancient horror before it was too late. But as they faced the darkness that lurked within the depths of the rainforest, they knew that some nightmares are too powerful to be defeated, and that the echoes of their struggle would forever haunt the jungles of the Amazon. A chilling reminder of the ancient evils that lurk just beyond the edge of our reality. In the peaceful town of Everwood, life was shattered when a series of gruesome murders began to plague the community. Each victim met a grisly end, their bodies mutilated beyond recognition, leaving behind a trail of fear and despair. As the townsfolk struggled to make sense of the senseless violence, they soon realized that the murders were not the work of a mere mortal, but rather the manifestation of an ancient evil that had long been forgotten. Detective Sarah Adams, haunted by the memories of her own past, was determined to uncover the truth behind the murders and put an end to the reign of terror that had gripped Everwood. As she delved deeper into the investigation, she discovered a series of clues that pointed to an ancient evil lurking in the shadows, a darkness that had been unleashed upon the town by forces beyond their understanding. With each passing day, the darkness grew stronger, its icy grip tightening around the hearts of the townsfolk as they struggled to come to terms with the horrors that had been unleashed upon their community. But as Detective Adams and her team raced against time to stop the ancient evil before it claimed its next victim, they realized with growing horror that the darkness was far more powerful than they could have ever imagined. Armed with courage and determination, Detective Adams and her team ventured into the heart of the darkness, facing horrors beyond their wildest nightmares as they struggled to uncover the truth behind the ancient evil that lurked in the shadows. But as they fought against the darkness that threatened to consume them, they knew that some nightmares are too powerful to be defeated, and that the echoes of their struggle would forever haunt the streets of Everwood, a chilling reminder of the ancient evils that lurk just beyond the edge of our reality. In the end, Detective Adams and her team were able to defeat the ancient evil, but at a great cost. The town of Everwood would never be the same again, its streets forever haunted by the memories of the darkness that had threatened to consume it. But as the sun rose on a new day, the townsfolk knew that they had faced their fears and emerged victorious, their spirits strengthened by the knowledge that they had stood together in the face of unimaginable horror and emerged stronger for it. In the remote countryside, Nestled amidst the towering pines and shrouded in mist, stood a forgotten inn, a place lost to time and untouched by the passage of years. Its weathered facade and creaking shutters seemed to whisper tales of a dark and troubled past, but to the weary traveler seeking refuge from the storm, it appeared as a welcome haven in the night. Unbeknownst to the traveler, however, the inn harbored a secret so sinister that it would chill them to the bone and shake them to their very core. As the traveler stepped through the inn's heavy oak door, a chill ran down their spine, and an unsettling feeling settled over them like a shroud. The innkeeper greeted them with a smile that did not reach their eyes, and the other guests glanced up from their meals with expressions of curiosity tinged with malice. As the night wore on, strange things began to happen within the inn's walls. Whispers echoed through the halls, and eerie shadows danced in the flickering candlelight. The travelers' unease grew with each passing moment, but they brushed it off as mere paranoia, attributing it to the isolation of the inn and the weariness of their journey. But as the hours stretched into the depths of the night, the true nature of the inn and its inhabitants began to reveal itself, a darkness that lurked within the shadows, waiting patiently to be unleashed upon the unsuspecting traveler. Desperate for escape, the traveler attempted to leave the inn, but to no avail. The doors were locked tight and the windows barred shut, trapping them within the darkness that lurked within. As they searched for a way out, they stumbled upon a series of old journals hidden away in the inn's attic. Journals that revealed the horrifying truth about the inn's past and the dark secret that its inhabitants were harboring. With each page they turned, the travelers' blood ran cold and their heart pounded in their chest. The inn had once been a place of unspeakable horror, a haven for witches and warlocks who had practiced dark rituals and sacrificed innocent souls in the name of their twisted beliefs. And now, centuries later, the inn's dark past had resurfaced, and its inhabitants were once again practicing their dark arts, feeding on the souls of the living and perpetuating a cycle of terror and despair that had plagued the countryside for generations. In the end, the traveler knew that they had to find a way to escape the inn and expose its dark secret to the world before it was too late. But as they faced the darkness that lurked within its walls, they realized with growing horror that some secrets are too powerful to be contained, and that the echoes of their terror would forever haunt the halls of the inn, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of our reality.